News Channel 3's Jake Gracia continues team coverage tonight on this verdict. He's live in Palm Springs with local reaction here in the Coachella Valley tonight. Jake.
John, good evening to you. And Derek Chauvin's verdict tonight is having impact across the country and right here in the Coachella Valley, just as it did nearly a year ago when we saw those weeks in a row of protests following Floyd's murder. Valley activists tonight say things are moving in the right direction.
It's a step of showing that the justice system is for all. We don't always see that.
As ex-Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin was led out of the courtroom in handcuffs, convicted by a jury of murdering George Floyd, his guilty on all counts verdict reverberated through the Coachella Valley.
And I knew that if they didn't end up with a conviction, that a lot more protests would break out.
18-year-old Hina Malik with the Young Justice Advocates helped to plan demonstrations like this one that swept across nearly every Valley city last year following Floyd's murder. Protesters peacefully took to the streets, to city halls, to parks around the valley, saying Black Lives Matter and calling for large-scale police reform. Several Valley police departments showed support for the demonstrations. Palm Springs Police at the time reviewed its policies. Desert Hot Springs Police banned the carotid restraint.
A reasonable, competent police officer will not kneel on someone's neck for 9 minutes.
Indio Mayor Pro Tem Waymond Furman has been at the forefront of race and policing in the Valley. He says the conversation with local law enforcement must continue, but Chauvin's case was clear-cut.
A bad cop is bad for a good cop, and it's dangerous for a community.
There's still more justice that needs to be served.
Jarvis Crawford, president of the Palm Springs Black History Committee, says the work isn't over, even here in the Valley. Earlier this year, a Hispanic man, Jose Lizarraga Garcia, died in Indio police custody, shouting the very same words as Floyd.
It's been very tough.
His daughter, Tiana Lizarraga, reacting to Chauvin's conviction, told News Channel 3 Tuesday, "It's been tough to see how similar the cases are, but it gives me hope that the officers involved will be held accountable for their actions. It's only the beginning."
America has shown that we are making a change towards the better.
A murder captured in broad daylight, a life taken being mourned. People hoping George Floyd can finally rest in peace. And throughout the day today, since that verdict dropped, people have been stopping here by this growing memorial at the George Floyd mural here in Palm Springs, taking a moment to honor his life. A vigil is set to be held here at the mural tomorrow night at 6:30. We're live tonight in Palm Springs. Jake Gracia, News Channel 3.